Hey guys, so today we'll be taking a look at the ST-11 Uta Starter deck. This month they'll be running a bunch of events also, so if you do get into those, you'll actually be getting some of these starter decks, and it will have the players go head to head in this mirror match. This is using a film engine, which was mostly OPO2, and it's just gonna essentially allow players to get access to some of the cards for maybe upcoming meta, a good way to reprint. I believe this is maybe 80% reprint of OP2 film engine, and a few new Uta cards. I think maybe 5 or 6 new Uta cards. A bunch of the cards that is needed for the future meta is actually in the event promo cards, so it'll be a little harder to find them or get them until the events kind of run more. So definitely we'll have to try to get the singles to build one of these Uta decks, because it is a pretty fun engine to play with. I know that Bandai kind of messed up with a bunch of stuff where they didn't send enough promotional packs, or even these star decks have been pretty hard to find because most of them are tied up into the different events that are supposed to be run this entire month. So hopefully you guys are able to find some of these at a decent price. We'll go over the deck itself just because I have done one of the tournaments already, so I do have a pack already sleeved up and ready to go. So I will be going over kind of the cards, what kind of hands you're kind of looking for, maybe some easy tips that will assist you in trying to get that higher rank in the event itself, or maybe even winning that winner card. We'll just go over what you kind of need to do, or what kind of starting hands you want to do, and just maybe some things that will make it a little easier for you to get that slight edge on someone who's just trying to crack the box fresh. But hopefully this video helps. So we'll start with just going through the deck profile. Obviously you get the Uta card here itself. Her effect is when you attach Dawn, you get to draw a card and keep a film card. You do have to show the film card because in upcoming builds you might not have all film cards, so it's you'll have to essentially show every card you draw when you're playing this event. But that's her there. That's the leader card, 5 life. I did have our legend Josh, our finalist, help out with a more gameplay video, so if you want to just go into the gameplay video, just skip on ahead. But I will be going over all the cards and just how to kind of chain them together, or essentially give you the ins and outs to give you an advantage on doing the event itself. But either way, you'll get 4 Luffy's, which is definitely the strongest card in this deck. If you are able to pull these into your hands, this is essentially what's going to win the game for you. It will help you establish your board and just kind of just crash. Like, it's this event, or this mirror match, is all about board control and just having more swingers to mill cards out of the opponent's hands. So the Luffy itself here, there you go, as you can see, OPO2 reprints. This one is a blocker and also allows you to play a 4 cost or less, which is very important. You'll end up playing him into Brook if you're able to. Brook will allow you to then play a 3 costs, which will end up chaining into Uta. So at 7 Dawn, you're essentially able to just drop 3 bodies on the board, and 2 of them are blockers. It is probably better to have at least 1 or 2 bodies on your board before you try to do this combo, especially with Uta, because once you do get her on board, you don't really swing with her because she's a lower cost body. Generally, you will want to get at least a Zoro down, if you can, at 4 costs, or chain it into an Usopp as your third card. So generally this is going to be what you want to do into a Brook. So Usopp or Uta, there's only 2 Uta cards, so she's very powerful in the late game. So I wouldn't ever really drop her early as a 3 cost. You definitely want to be chaining it in with a Brook or the full 3 combo. Usopp is a good option also, but he will be used later on for some other mechanics. But we'll go ahead and move on and head back to that section. Chopper is your only 2k counter, so you will only have 4 2k counters in this deck. As you can see, it's a 2 cost 2000 power card. You're really not going to use this effect at all in this mirror match, so definitely never play Chopper on the board. You'll be using him mainly just for counter. Frankie is also a very strong card. Generally, if you're unable to get the Luffy card down or pull the Luffy card, you're most likely going to be dropping this down in place of maybe doing your leader effect, and then you didn't pull a Brook or you didn't pull a Luffy. You just want to put a big body down. Frankie is definitely one of the hardest cards to clear out, just because most of the cards in this deck are lower swingers with like I said, Brook, Usopp, they're all 5Ks. Zoro is probably the next bigger card that you'll be using and playing, but Brook is generally going to be, you're playing it if you don't have any Luffy or you just have a ton of Dawn left that you can't burn. But like I said, there is going to be a video of Josh and I playing these Uta deck and kind of going through everything, so make sure you watch that. You'll kind of see what the live event will look like. One of the most powerful cards in this deck is also the Backlight. It will allow you to rest one of your opponent that's 5 cost or less, or it will allow you to KO your opponent. This is going to be very powerful when you're actually trying to maybe fatal, just end the game by resting Uta and then hitting face, or maybe trying to clear out some of your opponent's cards such as a Brook or anything that's essentially 5 costs or less, just to get rid of it. For 2 Dawn, this is probably one of the most powerful cards in the deck. If you do see this is probably one you're going to want to keep in your hand to kind of give you that extra tech to end it. And obviously, because of how good the card is, you only get 2 in the deck. So if you do end up building a meta deck for Uta or a more playable deck for Uta, you're going to definitely need that card. Another very powerful card is New Genesis. It actually allows you to look at 3 cards for 1 Dawn, and after you find a foam card you show your opponent, you actually gain that active Dawn back. So it's a free searcher essentially. Once again, a very powerful card, and that's why you only get 2. So once again, 2-star decks is probably going to be your best shot to get the cards that you'll need. The next really powerful card in this meta, or for at least the starter deck anyways, is I'm Invincible. It allows you to pitch use 3 Dawn to essentially restand Uta and just allow her to swing again. Very similar to what the kid leader will do, where you're spending 3 Dawn and then discarding, where this one is just spending the 3 Dawn and just allowing you to restand at Uta and swing again. There's going to be more tech going into that to help you end the game, which I will go over later also. So another powerful card is going to be 3 sword style Onigiri. This essentially is used for a trigger or for counter. If you do trigger it, you'll be able to rest one of your opponent's characters with 5 costs or less, which can be very powerful, which essentially will end maybe an attack on it. Like you can probably like rest Brook so he can't get the extra swing on you. The main thing about this card also is with 3 Dawn you gain 6,000 power, meaning that you're able to just essentially get a huge block in. This can definitely save your life. What you generally will also want to do is, if you do draw these 2 cards, you want to be able to draw a Usopp and a 3-sword Onigiri. In the matchup that Josh did with us, he used this technique a few times, and it's actually very powerful. So not only did you essentially have a 11k like 11k block or 11k counter, you're actually getting a free body onto the field itself. So what a lot of people should be doing is, let's say you're looking to play Usopp, but since you need an extra body on it, because he costs 3 Don, and because 3 sword style onigiri costs 3, you would just essentially leave 3 Don up and then have this card, and when the person hits you or you want to counter or there's a big swing coming, you use this card and then you're able to play Usopp and put him on the field for free. So if you essentially get these 2 cards in your hand, you're definitely going to want to try pair them together just because it's so powerful. The next card in here, which is pretty weak, is going to be the Jinbei. The only time you really play this card is going to be your turn 1 or turn 2. After that, he's pretty useless because he's just too low to swing. Because there is only choppers in the deck, you're probably going to be wanting to swing 6Ks, and if there's Luffy's on the deck, you're going to want to swing 7 just because you don't want to give their opponent the free block. So I will go over that a little more also. The next card that you're going to be getting in the deck is going to be this log card. This log card, once again, is not the greatest either. It's mostly going to be used as counter, same as Jinbei. You're going to use him more as counter unless it's like turn 1 or turn 2. Obviously in turn 2, if you don't have a Jinbei, then you're just going to drop this law just to use up the 2 Don, since you generally can't attack with Uta anyways. If you have 3 Don, then you're going to attach a Don to Uta to get the draw, and then you're going to play this card to have a body. But after turn 1 and turn 2, you're probably just going to use him as counter because he's pretty weak. The next card you'll get in here is Nico Robin, which will once again is a pretty low swinger. You'll be able to play this card and then play a 2 cost, but honestly, like, you might want to drop like a Jinbei or a Law early on to establish a board, but honestly it's mostly going to be used as more of a counter. So once again, these cards here, they're pretty weak. You're going to use them more as counter or use it in your first 2 turns at most, and then you're just going to use them as counter. Chopper, since you have 4, you're just going to want to essentially save it. You're going to want to use it to add on to like your 3 style onigiri just to push it over if need be, because people do use stuff like I'm invincible to restands and kind of double swing on you. But that's the deck there. Like I said, there wasn't much new cards. I guess I can try to pile them up and then show you what the new cards are. So the new cards are obviously going to be your Utas, and then I think it's honestly just the leader card, your I'm invincible and New Genesis, and then the backlight. So those are your new cards that you get with a starter deck, which is kind of weak, honestly. They should have definitely added a little more cards, but you know, it is what it is. There is a bunch of promo cards that you would probably need for this deck, and it's only getting through events, so you're kind of forced to buy singles, which the price point for these singles are pretty expensive right now on release. So let's just go over everything again and maybe try to show some chaining that you would want to do, or some extra tips that you can kind of run. I think let's go over to the main ones. We're going to be, these are essentially your counter cards here, so really don't play them as characters. You'll play turn 1 or 2. Your Usopps are very powerful to be chained into stuff like Luffy, into your Brooks if you're able to. Let's see here, Brooks, and just you're going to be chaining into that also. So your Brooks, so essentially it's your hard hitting combo. Once you have about 2 characters on deck, or once you reach that 7 to 8 Dawn, depending on if you're going first or second, is going to be this here. It just allows you to get your 5 cards up and kind of establish everything. And then we're gonna head into also, if you don't find the Brook, you're most likely going to be going to Luffy to Zoro to establish your board early on, once again, to get that maybe third or fourth body up. And then from there on, once you kind of have all 5k swingers and or higher, then you're just going to start saving your Dawn and saving your card to then kind of counter or add Dawn and try to mull cards or get the opponent's life down. So let's see here. We have our combination. So this is kind of your road here on what you kind of want to run as a combo or what you kind of want to see in your deck here. Usopp is also great as a choice here also. So let's still here. So once you head to Brook, we'll try to start a chart here. There you go. So that's kind of your road that you want to go into. Once again, these are essentially your counters, but I will show starting hands and what you kind of want to need to do there also. New Genesis is obviously going to be used in your second turn, because if you do pop this down on turn 1 and search is kind of useless due to the point that when you restand Dawn, it's kind of wasted. So you definitely want to save these for turn like when you have 2 Dawn up, no, when you have 3 Dawn up or more Dawn up, because it's just a free searcher and then you just keep your Dawn. This is once again a great way to clear your opponent's board, so that's also something that you want to see. And these here will essentially win you the game because it's allowing you to add that double swinger. A lot of people end up adding either, you know, if you're essentially attaching I don't know, 7 Dawn and you're swinging with Uta, you're doing 12 swings and then double, and there's 12 swings is very powerful. Or you'll use 1 Dawn to search to see if you can build one of these combos, and then you'll attach 3 Dawn onto Uta, which makes her an 8k swinger, and then you can restands to swing again for 8, and then restands again to swing for 8, which is a great way to clear an opponent's board and kind of save your board, because it's all about clearing board. You don't really want to hit your opponent until their board is clear, or until you have enough of a board presence where they're gonna be essentially getting free cards if you hit them, right? So you definitely always want to clear board unless you're going into trying to end the game by using like a backlight to unblock a blocker, like making Uta rested so that you can just swing for face. But great card, you definitely want to see that. Hopefully you get a few of them. Frankie is also one of your biggest hitters. Zoro is the next bigger hitter, he's a 6k, but with Frankie essentially you're probably going to use maybe 1 or 2 and pitch the counter on him. Let's say you're at 7 Dawn and you don't get your Luffy. What you'll generally do is attach Dawn 1 and try to find a card, find a Brook into one of these pathways here. And if you're just have nothing, you're bricking, you're just gonna play a Frankie, and he's essentially gonna take a lot of power, a lot of Dawn attached to the other players to try to kill him. Because even most of them are going to be 5 costs or 6 costs, you're going to need to at least attach a couple Dawn, which is kind of wastes your opponent's cards, which also makes a huge difference. This, once again, very powerful. I said it earlier. Instead of playing Usopp, you're just going to save 3 Dawn. You can get a 11k counter, and then you just play Usopp for free. So very, very cool card. Just note that if you're leaving 3 Dawn up, people are gonna know that you're probably having this and having 11k counter. So most people will just know that they have to swing at least 11 or 12 to try to end the game. But you wouldn't really commit that much Dawn to your swing unless it's like an end game where your opponent has maybe 1 or 2 cards in their hand, which it just ends up becoming a very math and logical path to do at the end, where your opponent has, you know, let's say they have 2 cards and they have 3 Dons up, they're probably going to have one of these. Or you'll know that if there's a bunch of characters on board and they only have 1 or 2 cards in their hand, you can probably swing, well, if you're swinging Luffy to Luffy, you might be able to get away with just swinging, adding 1 Don and forcing them to mill 2 cards, or just swinging even, or if they have no cards in hand, you'll just get free hits without wasting Don. So once again, very strong card. In the matchup I did with Josh, and also in the sealed, or in this event, some people kept up 6 Don just because they didn't have characters to play, and they were either trying to attempt to bait you into saying they had 2 of these or at least 1 of them. So you just gotta math it out pretty much. So it's a pretty math heavy game, essentially near the end game, which you'll see on there. Is there anything else that we can really go over? Oh, starting hands. Once again, if you're mulling, if you see a Luffy, you essentially just keep it. Like any of these 3 cards, if you're able to get like at least 2 of them, you're gonna keep it, because the way Uta leader works is you're just going to be constantly drawing for cards, so you'll be able to build one of these combos. So what the main combo late game you want is essentially Luffy into Brook into Uta. Another thing about this Uta card, which is great, is when you're swinging your characters, like, you generally want to keep your blockers up, right? Because there's only six blocker cards in here, which is going to be your Luffy and your Uta. What you can do is, obviously, when you're swinging your cards, you generally want to keep your blockers up, but if you have this combination out, you can actually swing with Luffy for 7, which is very powerful, and then use the Uta effect here, which allows you to trash one of your event cards, which generally will be this 3-sword onigiri, or I guess even this black backlight. But a lot of times in the matchups that I've seen, it's generally going to be this one, and then you're able to restand your Luffy and get your free blocker up. So that's an extra swinger that you're able to use. And because early game there's going to be a lot of Dawn usage to try to establish board, this is a good way to get an extra swing in to kind of allow you to mill up more cards, take extra damage off your opponents, and or just give you another defensive play on it. So very powerful combo here, allowing you to swing Luffy, popping this at the end of your turn to then restand Luffy and have yourself a double blocker, or you can even probably attach Dawn to Uta here and swing for 5 or swing for 6, depending on how much Dawn you have that you can still afford. If you, let's say, miscounted or didn't have enough Dawn to save for this counter, or you didn't have Usopp in that combination, you're just able to swing with her, get an extra attack against, and then it kind of baits, oh, they're probably gonna swing with Luffy. Then you swing Luffy, you pitch a card and boost down Luffy, and then that might be enough to deter an attack on you. So that's the main combo. Other things to consider if you're unable to really establish a board is essentially pop a Brook into Usopp also, which allows you to get two 5Ks on the board. If you can keep 4 to 5K plus swingers on board and kind of defend them, you're just gonna win. Another tip that works very well is because Uta is a 5 life leader, you should take your first 2 hits. I wouldn't waste any of your counters until you're at least down to 3 health. Once you're down to 3 health, what this does is it brings an opportunity for you to find choppers to add counters, but mainly hopefully finding Usopp's, Brook's, and Luffy's from your life if it is buried in there, or any of these event cards are great. Oh, that's another thing, triggers on event cards. So we did go over this one, which is very powerful, resting one of your opponent's 5 costs, which just eliminates a swing on you. You probably won't use which one has the trigger? Oh, this one here. So you probably won't really use this trigger too much unless they have like, let's say they have 4 to 5 characters on their board and the first swing happens and then you get this as a trigger. If you have a bunch of them in your hands already, or if you see like 3 or 4 more swings on you that are like 5k or 6k, this trigger adds 1000 power onto Uta herself, making her a 6k leader for the entire round. So if it's early on where you trigger this and there's 3 or 4 more attacks coming to you, then yes, you're going to want trigger, just because most of them will need at least 1 Dawn to be attached or 2 Dawns to be attached to even take damage. So that is a good trigger for you. But if it's like their last person swinging at you, just use the counter so you can save this to kind of clear their board after, or just to allow you to restands and try to end the game with restandings and adding just a bunch of Dawn onto Uta herself. I think that's about it for the matchup. We went over counters, we went over I guess we didn't go over ending, right? We can kind of end how we would end the game. So once again, let's say you're at 10 Dawn, you know that you're gonna need 3 to restands and maybe 3 to use your onigiri, 3 for that, and then 3 for that. Another thing you can do is if you are trying to end the game, you can also, instead of using this one, you don't want to be a defensive player and you have a blocker Uta up, you can just pitch this to restand your Luffy. You can use this to kind of rest your opponent's Uta to try to go for an ending if they have like maybe a couple cards left in hand and like 1 or 2 life. This is a good way to kind of just allow to hit the face, especially if they have Uta and Luffy counter up. New Genesis, great card. It's not a trigger, so we don't have to go over it. This one we just went over. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you watch this video and heading to your events, that should be a lot of information that should really help you do the events. If you guys have any questions on any strategy or stuff, then definitely just leave it in the comments and I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I do read all the comments, so I do appreciate those who spend the time and kind of interact with me. I always love that. Let me see if there's anything else that we can really go over. Oh sorry. So I'm invincible. What you can also do is do 3. Let's say they have two life left, or you have a bunch of deck like cards on board. Let's say you have like Usopp and you have like a Frankie, like you just hit the combo and you just have a very strong board. You essentially map out what the cards they have in hand. If they have 3 Dawn active, then you know they're probably gonna 3-sword onigiri you. So just be aware to swing enough that they're forced to block it, and then allow them to kind of math it out. So okay, now they have 1 card left. I'm gonna swing 6 at Luffy, or I'm gonna swing not 6. Sorry, I'm gonna swing 8 at Luffy. They can't block. He's dead, type of thing. What else? Okay, so what you can do also is, instead of searching, the game's pretty much going to be ending, you just save 3 Dawn for I'm invincible, and then you just essentially attack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you do a 12k swing. So your 12k swing, you're going to use your 12k swing, and then you're going to restands for 3 Dawn and then swing 12k again, and that pretty much will end your game. If you want to play it safe, what really worked for me at the tournament was you attach 1, you then swing to face to mull out a card, and then that will essentially let you draw 1 card, And then if it's something decent where you're able to like drop a Luffy into like a Brook into a Usopp where your board maybe not be full, it's a good way to restands. And then if you pull a brick or just a counter like this here, then you have 9 Dawn to work with. You can 3 Dawn, and then you can restands and then attach the rest of this. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you're essentially swinging 12,
6 and 12,
right? All right, you attach 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7. So you're swinging 12. So your swing's 12 already. So you're swinging 11, which will essentially kill any which will essentially kill an onigiri, because they'll have to onigiri and then put a 1k on top, and then that kind of mauls those cards out, and then you restands with I'm invincible, swing at 12k again, and that generally will end the matchup. Once again, that's a lot of information. I'll probably end up putting this stuff at the end of the video. I guess I'll let you see the matchup first and then kind of go into this tech here. So sorry, this is kind of a video that I wasn't sure if I was going to do and put all in one, but we'll see what we do in the edit, I guess. But that is the Uta matchup. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing the live cards. I did spend a lot of time trying to edit the video to add a lot of those little extra bells and whistles to make it easier to follow. If you do like this type of content and want to see more of it in the future, definitely hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps me know what type of video and content you're liking, and hopefully you guys have fun with this new starter deck. I will be doing more Uta stuff in the future, maybe against the ST-10 or maybe one of the other starter decks, maybe just whatever that people can still get stock of. One Piece has been very difficult to get any type of starter deck or product, so hopefully more reprints are coming. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.
Oh, you go first this time.
You chose to go second last time.
Oh, okay. So, you want first? Or you want second?
I mean, let me try second.
All right.
Let me see what you and Josh are on about.
I just like the extra swing. The extra card helps, I think.
I'll see what you guys are on about. We'll see what your tech is.
Hey guys, so I did add some of the sim matches that I did before the event itself, just trying to learn some techniques and just learning the deck itself. These are some good examples of what the mirror match may look like if you get like a god hand, or if you're getting not so good, if going first or second is better or worse. For me myself, I found that you're gonna essentially have to do one or the other anyways. If you kind of want to just do odds or going first, it may hurt you in the future, so it's just best to learn both ways. I also did some matchup where I didn't have quite the ideal hand and just kept anyways, just so we can see how the matchup would feel if you did get really bad cards. But here are some sims, and I'll try to jump in and add some extra voiceovers, I guess, because it does get quiet, because we were really trying to think and analyze the matchup here. So hope you guys enjoy. Not many of you probably gonna watch this, but if you do, I appreciate you guys, and let me know in the comments if there's any questions. Thank you. Bye. So at this point, jumping into the matchup, you'll see that I finally placed some characters. I got really unlucky with not pulling like a Jimbei early on where I can play him at the 2 costs. I attached a single Dawn to try to pull a search, and then ended up not getting anything. So I was kind of forced to use my Brook early instead of the combination with Luffy into Brook into Usopp, because my opponents here already had 2 characters on deck, so I was forced to pop the Brook into Usopp just so I have a little board presence. Generally, I like to take maybe 2 hits and just draw some cards, but at this point, it's a very aggressive match, and I'm already down to 2 life, so. So what we have to do is always clear board. If you can have a character advantage, you're always going to be ahead essentially. And just as long as you pull those Luffys, you're able to kind of have an opportunity to fill that board up really quick.
Wombo combo. Very nice.
I still think that the Luffy into the Brook into Uta is better though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I do like the double blocker play.
Yeah. So it's just a shame that you only get 2 blocker Utas.
Yep. Right here, just trying to clear out the Luffy, mull out some counters, and then just trying to draw stuff out. I always save 7 Dawn just to drop the combination. I didn't have a Brook, so I just kind of dropped the Uta. It's always good to keep the Luffy Uta combination to fill up your board so you have 5 characters up. So I do have a stronger board right now. Spotlight's so good, dude.
Yep. I love it. It's an amazing card.
And he's just working to clear my board because it's all about having a board presence and being able to attack. So you never want to give your opponent extra cards if you can, especially if there's blockers up and whatnot, right? Because they can just choose to take the extra cards because they know they're safe for at least a couple hits. Damn. All right. Nice play.
There's only so much you can defend.
Yeah. So here I'm attaching 3 Dawns because I know there's a Luffy and I want to either block or be able to kill a opponent and then just mull the extra card out. I was able to draw a Brook, so I'm definitely going to be using that combination coming up. Most likely Luffy into Brook, and then I'm just going to counter as much as I can to get the free stuff, but I'm just going to drop the extra cards now. You really need to have that advantage in board presence, and having 3 blockers is very powerful.
Okay. I see.
Using that Uta effect is very powerful too.
I'm learning a little.
Fair play. Respect.
And restands.
Of course it does.
Yeah, you really want to take those hits if you can so you get those extra draws from your life, and then obviously you want to keep a good board presence. Keep that pressure on. Just gotta keep playing board.
Yo, he's gaming it all, eh?
Yep. I did the math. Okay, I did not expect that. I was expecting you to go 5 with the Brook and then be big swinger. That's okay as well. Okay. We don't mind.
That restand from Uta is very, very powerful. So once again, just trying to figure out if I want to try to end this, and I'm going to go for the double swing. Most of the time, if you have 6 down and up, they're probably thinking a 3-sword on a Gary too. So and then I'm gonna be swinging my other characters just to pretend it's 3-sword on a Gary. Trying to bait it.
Oh, you had another one.
You mean like that?
You had all 4? Or no, you had-
Did I?
Yeah, you had all 4.
Damn, it is too. All in. Look at all those events in a row.
Oh, I was like, oh, you don't go all 4.
No, I left the 3 thinking you think I put an onigiri up again.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Or I thought you were gonna swing 7 with Uta,
Yeah.
the blocker. I'm gonna try second again.
Alright.
Second kind of felt kind of okay.
Do I keep this? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to play like bad hands to learn more. That's probably the bad idea, but it could happen. So. Okay, apparently it was a really bad hand. Wait, would it mattered if I swung? How many cards did you have left? 2? Were they 1Ks, right?
What Luffy's? No, what Luffy's?
Oh, so it wouldn't matter. If I attached 3 Dawn to Uta and swung, it would have been 7 and it would have been game over either way.
Yep.
And got the Utas too.
Of course I do. Next turn, 6. Done.
So just remember, each time your opponent draws a card, they have to show you. So that's why we're able to see what comes up. So either of us have Boar's presence right now, so I was just forced to put a Uta down. Any 3 cost. Jinbei is pretty bad anything other than the second or third turn, so that's why I popped that there, especially since I wanted the extra card for the search also. To a law? Swap a move? Oh. So right now we're at 7 Dons, so we're gonna pop the combo. Even though we don't have a Brook, we just kind of need bodies on board here. Most likely Usopp, because we already have an Uta down. Damn. 2 Utas? Yeah, Frankie's kind of terrifying too.
Yep.
So always attaching one and trying to mull it out. Generally, you will probably want to attach 2 Dawn or even 3 Dawn if there's a Luffy up, just because you don't want the free blocker for Luffy.
Okay.
Night night.
That backlight is so powerful too, just able to reduce the 5 costs just in 2 Dawn, so definitely worth it. Great for clearing out the deck. And here, because I have many 3-sword onigiri, I'm just gonna swing with Luffy anyways, because I have a Uta blocker down, which will then allow me to repop. Tossing the Uta swing into, just because I had 2 extra Dawn and it wasn't being used anywhere, but I'll be safe because I have the board advantage right now, and then I'll just repop Luffy for the blocker.
Oh. No, Uta. I'll take a 3 block, I guess.
Yeah, anytime it's the end of a turn or close to it, you should be using that free block, just because you want to save as much cards as you can. It's a big grind at the end here. Once again, just popping that 3 Dawn, swinging 8s, and then trying to essentially pull a Luffy or a Brook so I can kind of put more stuff on the board. And if not, I'll have 7 Dawn to be able to use I'm Invincible or 3-sword onigiri. So definitely bricked here. So I'm gonna attach Dawn to probably Luffy or Usopp, and then just put a swing, probably Usopp. Nope, I guess I didn't. But that also might be because I'm trying to bait right now. Yep, there you go. I'll probably be saving 3-sword onigiri, and I'm invincible for an extra swing. Yeah, in Uta play into the pitch, freestands, which is actually a pretty cool move. Because not only did I bait into a 3-sword onigiri play, but then I just instead dropped an extra blocker, restands my Luffy. But I am running pretty low on cards. Probably get my Usopp cleared out here, and then just not counter, or can counter actually, because I only have 1 card, and then just start taking extra card hits to the face, just so I can have some cards in hand. Just because my opponent has 1 blocker and no life, so I just need the extra cards to try to end the game. Once again, just attaching the 3 Dawn for the swing, get the search. They'll either block with Uta, and then if so, then I just attach Dawn to my other characters and end the game. I also have a I'm Invincible, which will allow me to reswing.
Okay, let's see here. 2 cards, 7, 8. If it's 2 choppers, is 9. Okay, 9 first. Once again, I have to get 9. Alright, GG.
I didn't see a single Luffy that game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you don't pull Luffy, it's very difficult to win. He's such a powerful card. You're always searching for those Luffys and Brooks, so, and Usopp is very nice also. I think this would be the only time you play Law's first 2. Law's definitely going to be the only time used mostly for counter, just because it's a very weak card. You might be able to swap into like an Usopp or something, but really it doesn't really matter. Just because on the next turn you're going to 3-Dawn anyways, so actually it does matter. You would do the search swing first, and then you would Usopp transfer over. Right to Uta. I guess this turn wouldn't really matter because I would have had 3-Dawn anyways. I guess the swap would have been good because I gained a 1k counter by bringing the Law back in, but I think I just replayed it here actually. I think that worked out the same way. Never mind. I should have kept the Dawn. Oh no, that doesn't, because I wouldn't been able to pull a Law out if I just played Usopp. No, it's the same thing, isn't it? It is the same thing. It was actually the exact same thing. It was better to just keep Law in hand for the 1k counter, because he's probably gonna be pretty useless here. So always try and get that extra swing in here to get those extra cards in. Actually worked out because I got Frankie, which is a pretty big attacker. So how many people play Pokemon? How's the tournament looking?
It's a lot bigger than One Piece.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more affordable. Everyone can get into it.
Yeah.
Is there younger people too, right?
Yeah.
What's the turnout like? 30?
No, it's less. It's like 20 something usually.
Oh, we're around that right now.
I think today was like 20, but usually we're like on the higher end. We like fill up the entire room.
Oh, fair. Yeah, I'm having deja vu moment. I don't know. It's weird. There's actually some decent cards here. I already have a Luffy and Brook waiting, an extra Luffy on deck. Able to kind of get 2 bodies pretty quickly. I think at this point I'm hoping for either probably an Usopp, just going to do triple combo, or an Uta.
So am I. I'm not seeing any Luffys.
Or you can see my Luffy's instead. My Luffy, that is.
I don't want to.
Fair.
I don't want to see your Luffy. I want to see my Luffy's.
Oh, Sakta Uta. That was actually probably a misplay. It would have been better to play a Luffy into a Zoro and then save the Brook in case I get an Usopp in my future draws or for my life.
And then pitching Frankie for the counter is generally what's going to happen because you'll have better cards to play. There you go. You had him there all the time. Oh, that's why you got rid of her. You had another one.
I drew into
Hmm.
the Luffy.
So swinging 8 here because he has a Luffy. Just trying to force him to block and use counter here. Generally, there's only 4 choppers, which are 2k counters. So even if I'm able to draw out a single chopper out of his hand, or if I'm able to draw 2 more 1k counters out, that just closes the gap on the hand size. You guys hit so hard.
Sorry?
Oh, you guys are such big hitters. Start swinging face, I guess. Get rid of some of your cards. That Frankie is actually terrifying. It counters a Luffy and forces card out, and then just essentially, yeah, I'm just swinging here just because I know I'm going to be dropping another Luffy into Zoro most likely. Yep, Luffy into most likely Zoro. There you go, and replacing Law. Actually, still a lot of decent cards in my hand here. Most likely gonna be saving the 3-sword Onigiri with 6-9 or something. Trying to be very good with your counters where you're not over countering is generally going to be your best bet to not waste cards for this matchup, since every counter will be very important during the late game. Damn, still swinging.
I'm gonna say I'm a swinger.
Fair,
I love
fair.
swinging.
Understandable. So here we go, just popping that 7 again just to see if I can get a Luffy or something more usable. Because they have Luffy on deck also, it's good to swing higher because you don't want to give the free block out. So either milling out another chopper or 2k counters, or most likely be blocking with Uta to try to save Luffy for a future block. That takes the hit. So I know I'm going to be using the 3-sword Onigiri, so I'm just attaching the extra down right now to try to get that extra swing in, and also if maybe a Luffy block plus another 1k counter out of the hand here. Yeah, most like a 1k counter. Yep, there you go. And then force the Uta block.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. I think that was the right move. We'll see. Oh, searching. Most likely thinking I'm an invincible and then restanding. So that's why the Luffy was never used. So I'll most likely be taking a couple of these hits here also, just because I know. Oh, never mind. I was thinking maybe. Not sure what I was thinking there actually. All right, so we're just gonna most likely go for a draw. But yeah, maybe I was able to end that a little earlier and not have to save all that
Don was kind of playing safe with the 3-sword onigiri there. Using the free searcher, which is great. Grabbing the brook into the Uta for more board presence there. Most likely saving a set of 3-sword to the 3-9. And probably needing to either... I think I'm just going go for game here. Force the block, because if I just hit Luffy, it won't matter. But if I'm forcing the block here, I might be able to swing with Luffy. Yeah, I have an Uta, so I'm just gonna repop him. Still a very scary board to look at here with all those Luffys on deck. Jinbei swimming at face right now. Gonna at least take 1 or 2 more hits just because I know I have blockers and I'm not gonna be able to die this round, especially since I have the up to 11k counter with the 3-sword onigiri with my 3-don left up. I think I'm doing that wrong. Gotta rethink that. Okay, attaching 3 again, just because I don't want attaching 2 to make sure I don't give a free block for Luffy there, forcing a 1k counter, and just gonna keep swinging face to force that counter. I think I'm just mapping it out here. See if I can bait out the 2 blocks from the Luffy's. I think I just try and kill Luffy's here. Maybe not go for fatal. Which is a safer play. Oh, it looks like I'm going for it. Oh, I'm gonna pitch and bring my Luffy back. There you go. Now I can still lose this if he has I'm invincible. I think I have the perfect amount of counter where it won't matter. Holding those blockers just in case for the I'm invincible, so I'm just gonna mull up my cards here. With 2 blockers left, that is probably GG's. Yep, that's it.
GG.
GG's.
You had a 3rd chopper. You had 3 choppers. Like,
Yeah, I was just searching for choppers every time I pulled. Well, I guess I only had 1 searcher. Which way did you go that time? Was that odds again?
no, I went first that time.
All right. I'll give this one a try. I think I'm just getting lucky draws, honestly. I don't think I'm playing anything differently from yesterday. Well, I am less tired, so. Yeah, this matchup is really going to come down to luck. Skill will only take you so far, but if you don't get those Luffys or Brooks and stuff, it's an uphill battle for sure. So just actually a good opening hand, able to search into dropping into a law. We'll take this hit just because we need cards at the beginning. You're generally good for taking 2 hits, staying around 3 life. After that, you probably just want to counter by using 1 or 2 card at most, and not any more than that. You want to be very efficient with using your counter in this matchup. And once again, if you see a search with Brook or Luffy, you pretty much have to grab it. It's just such a powerful card, allowing you to just refill your board. Yeah, so here's another Luffy in that search. So always good to attach that Don. Most likely dropping the Zoro here. Yep, just gotta get a body on board here. And then next one should be probably a Brook into another thing, but we'll see what we actually draw. Using that chopper very efficiently for the 2K. Just once you're at 3 life, you just gotta make sure you start countering as much as you can, just so you don't give away your advantage there. But mostly, yeah, just because I couldn't combo into another 3 costs, I just decided to drop a Zoro just to get our body on board, and hopefully in the next draw I can get a 3 cost or an Uta, and then drop a Luffy into Brook into Uta or into Usopp. You're essentially just aiming to get 5k plus bodies on board. If you get a full deck, you're gonna be way ahead. Just easier to defend, and then also clear out your opponent's board. Damn, he's getting all Luffy this time. And the Zoros. Backlight is going to be very important here also, just because it's a free board character clear. Yeah, let me think. Probably search into a Luffy, into a backlight maybe. Yeah, into a Brook. Even though I have a 3rd card, it's just easier to keep 5k costs and above up. So this is your ideal board here. I think I opted out to not even search and just take out a character with the backlight. Just because even if you attach a Don right here and get a card, at best it's a chopper with his 2k counter, but being that 2 Don will only remove a total swinger, it should be most likely taking out the Usopp here. Yep, there you go. It's a free block with Luffy in. That's another thing that's really good. If you have the Luffys and you can get free block in, you probably want to do it, just because even in mid game your opponent's going to try to be trying to kill your Luffy's, right? Because they're trying to clear a board. So if they swing like a 6k or something at you, you definitely just block, because they're probably gonna be attaching Dawn to try to swing at him again to clear him out. And if not, you got a free block, he didn't die, and then he restands your turn anyways. Yeah, see, you just gotta save the Luffy. You gotta keep your board presence, even though it's a waste of 1k counter. He goes for it.
Of course I go for it.
Fair play, fair play. Yeah, you definitely have to go for it. You always have to get rid of those Luffy's because it's just too powerful. Free block, huge swinger. Only a Frankie can hit as hard as Luffy there, so you definitely want to always clear it out if you can. Either if you're forced to swing 7s, you're milling cards out, or if you're going to attach more Dawn to try to take him out, then you definitely need to do so. A lot of resources need to clear him out, but Luffy's what's going to win this matchup for you. So as you can see, that law on board is pretty not very useful, because I have such many big bodies up there, but it is good to get a semi board presence, but I think it's just going to be ignored there, right? So unless they're going for fatal, they're going to attach Dawn, you're going to need at least probably 2 to 3 Dawn on there, so it might not be worth to actually play the law, but rather than just keep it as a 1k counter. Holy crap, that's awesome. That combination is so powerful. This is a frightening board I'm looking at right now. Just 2 Luffy's, a Brook, and a Uta, able to repitch and restands a Luffy.
I think this is just a battle of wits at this point.
You just gotta figure out like the sneaky ways to try to get spells in.
Yep.
Fair, that's more fun that way.
Just math right now.
Yep. I'm pretty much gonna actually lose this here, but I got really lucky and I have Utas, so I should be able to drop double blockers with the Uta being in there. I felt safe enough to just swing with Luffy.
What the hell?
I know, right?
Double Utas.
Let's go.
Kind of cringe, I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, it's like blockering up, right? Is there any other blockers other than Luffy?
No, Luffy and Uta are the only blockers.
So there's 6 total in a 50 deck.
Yep.
And I have half of them out here. All right. With 29 deck, I'm actually top decking. All right, all the math is yours. If I block with Uta there, I definitely would have lost.
I don't like doing math. I'm just gonna block 3 times.
Oh, no. Oh, we're struggling out here. We need some of that.
Oh, this format is not enjoyable. It
Not
was
right now.
enjoyable at first, but now it's just boring.
Let's see here. I think I go like
Stop. Please.
oh. All right, let's see here. Wait.
You just win.
Go like this. Go like this.
If you didn't have double Uta there, I would have been fine.
Yeah, I just need the one dot on each of them. Wow.
Oh, it's not even that. I would have won last turn if you just didn't have.
Oh yeah, because you just charge, yeah. What did you go that time?
Second.
Second. Both feels the same to me. I don't, honestly. Feels pretty similar, no?
Not really.
No. I feel like both of them works.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so if you made it that far, you've watched the entire video. I appreciate it, guys. Good luck on your Uta events this month, and just remember that it comes down to a bit of luck also. You can be the most skilled player and do every single thing right, but if you don't get those card draws such as those Luffys, those Brooks, and your spell cards, it's gonna be difficult either way. So don't beat yourself up if you don't win due to card draws, but hopefully there won't be too many misplays, and you guys can let me know if this video helped you out, and or if you got that winner card. But thanks for watching, take care, be safe, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.